On July 29th, Lionel Richie will be performing at MEO Arena. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to say hello to you, Lionel Richie. It's such an honor to have you with us, even if it's through a Zoom call. And before we dive in, I want to know, how are you doing?
Well, you know what it is when you prepare for a tour. Someone said to me, well, how long is your tour going to be? I said, I've been on tour since 73,
Mm-hmm.
71. So 1971 is when it started, and I'm still doing it and still having so much fun doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
again, Lisbon is just a destination that I cannot wait to get to because it's not one of those places you stop by. You have to go to Lisbon. And so I'm looking forward to that crowd being down there. And of course, the screaming and the chanting. And of course, every time I sing I think it's going to be a very quiet love song. Ends
Mm-hmm.
up being a loud soccer chant, loud as possible. But I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Mm-hmm. So I have this is just a curiosity. Has anyone not sung hello to you in the last 40 years? Do you even hear a normal hello?
Like, hello.
Can I tell you something? I'll have people walk up to me and say hello, and then they'll go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not what I wanted." you know, it's one of those greetings where they don't want to be corny or tacky, but it is the most common greeting. And so when they say hello, and they go, "Oh God, did I just say that?" But I love it. I love it, and I wrote the song exactly to be that, which
Mhm.
is it's a common phrase that everyone says, and it's an icebreaker for sure.
Is
Well,
it?
but even more than that, I was the kid that was the shy guy. So
Mm.
I wrote the song based on watching the girl I wanted to say hello to walk past me because I
Mm-hmm.
was not, didn't have enough guts to go up and say, "Yo, it's me, Lionel." I'm the guy. I would have go up and say, "Hello, is it me you're looking for?" And it's like
Mm-hmm.
she would be passing, and I wouldn't say the words at all. But then I realized that there are about a couple of billion people in the world who are also equally as shy, and that's what makes it so wonderful. I think that's what makes "Hello, is it me you're looking for" so wonderful.
Yeah, it is wonderful. So we all kind of know you, but there are some things that we don't know. So let's start with something that really caught my attention. We all saw The Greatest Night in Pop, and we saw how some artists, like Prince, for example, chose not to show up because there's this kind of mystique that comes with staying distant or mysterious, especially when you're a legend. But that's never been your style. You're open, you're out there, from talk shows to American Idol, so you're constantly connecting with people. Was that a conscious choice, or it was always natural?
I always tell my little contestants and all my little interviews, I always say there's two things you really have to get used to. And that is before you want to be famous, you have to like people. If you don't like
Mm.
people, you're going to be harassed for the rest of your life if you happen to make it. I love people. Secondly, where do you get your stories from? Where do I get my stories from? People. They walk up to me and they tell me, "Lionel, you're not going to believe it." But my wife and I, "Lionel, you're not going to believe it. But this, I got through a divorce. Lionel, you're not going to believe this." And they start telling me their life stories. They're very intimate parts of their lives. That's number one. Number two, the part I like the most. If you don't like touring, which means now I have to go and meet the world, I go to concerts, and believe it or not, everyone says, "I'm coming to see you perform, Lionel." No, no, no. I'm coming to see them perform. I want to come in, and they put on this show in the audience that you've never seen before that becomes so special to me. I have the best seat in the house. When I come to Lisbon, it's going to be amazing because the performance they're going to put on is so great. And I am the recipient I'm the father of the songs.
Hmm.
I'm the parent of the songs, but then they get to show off my kids in a way that I didn't think it was going to be done. It's something I just enjoy doing. I love the travel. I love people and sharing the love. I mean, that's what it's all about.
And after so many years in the spotlight, how do you keep the rhythm? How do you keep creative and energized?
Um, truthfully, I'm kind of like one of those hyperactive people. I when I was a
Ah,
kid, when I was a
me too.
kid, they always used to say, Lionel, just sit in the seat. Lionel, stop talking. Lionel, sit in your seat. Lionel, be quiet. Um, I'm now, that guy 100 years later, and they're still saying, you still have more energy. And I go, yeah, yeah, I got some other things to do. I've got some people I want to meet, places I want to go. And I'm also curious. I want to know, okay, this is 2025. Never toured in 2025 in Lisbon. Never been there in
Mhm.
2025. So I'm anxious to see what 2025 is like at this time in my life and what it's going to be
Mm.
like. So inquisitive, it's always that little angst of what's next. And here we go again.
Hmm. Okay, so before we talk about Portugal and your concert, let's talk about love, because who writes about it better than you?
Thank you very
Um,
much.
Is it is it still easy to think and write about love the way you did a few years ago as your perspective changed?
I'm always going to be a hopeless romantic. I'm just that guy. I'm that fall in love guy. So, I feel um uh, I guess the word they use now in modern day term is hypersensitive. Lionel's hypersensitive, but
Hmm.
really and truly, I'm just a hopeless romantic, and I find a way to make my way to love no matter what.
Hmm.
I love you. I want you. I need you forever. These are my words. And so, if I can find that in a daily exchange, I look for that love thing every day wherever I am. And whether it's
Hmm.
the universe, whether it's nature, whether it's people, whether it's a city or a town or architecture or food or whatever the case may be, we share it in a world of love. And so that's going to be me from till to the end. Is
mhm.
that I'm that guy.
And your generation wrote love letters, waited days for a phone call. You didn't even know if the other person felt the same way. Now we have now we have texts and DMs and everything
Too
is
much
so
information. We have
instant.
Too
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 much
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 information.
information.
information. Yeah, so what advice would you give to someone going on their first date today?
Well, I like the word mystique. I like the words where I don't know all about you. And
Hmm.
I think the word I like to use is discovery. If I can discover one more thing, one more thing, one more thing, how long did it take to figure out all of it? A lifetime. In
Hmm.
other words, we keep growing as people. So if you know everything about the person the first time you meet them or the fifth time you meet them, it's boring. But if you
Hmm.
can kind of discover, taking one pebble of the flower off of one pebble at a time, it becomes very interesting. I like the idea of discovering who I'm talking to. And so it's amazing when you can find something new in a person you've known for a very long time. That's magic.
Wow, that was beautiful. That's a really nice vision of love, I guess. Okay, so
Say, I guess. Say,
I guess because if you had to start your career all over again in 2025, what kind of musician do you think you'd be?
well, I certainly would not be on American Idol. I'm going to tell you that right now because
Really?
yeah, you know what? These kids are so brave. They
Mm.
are so, I mean, they bear their souls. So I mean, I was lucky. I had a band. We had the Commodores. We had six of us, five of us. And so I had support. These kids are coming out singing a cappella
Hmm.
on national television. Are you kidding me? I would
Mm.
pass out several times. The next thing is we had radio stations instead of this streaming stuff. So the DJ could say, and here's the new song by the Commodores. Here's the new song by Lionel Richie. And they kind of sold you on this new song. Now is this streaming thing. I mean, again, it's just a different format, but it's not as intimate as it was when a DJ announced you. Here's my personal friend Lionel Richie. Here's my personal friends the Commodores. It
Mhm.
was just a different era. We didn't have the cell phone, so we didn't have the internet. So, the discovery was, oh my God, the Commodores are coming to Portugal. Oh my God,
Mm.
Lionel Richie is coming to Portugal. It became an event. And so, today, how I would break into the business would be so strange to me because I would try to figure out what angle I could do to be different. The same process as I did back then. Everyone was playing. It was a funk band. Okay, so I decided I was gonna do ballads. I was gonna do love songs, which was totally against the grain of funk and R&B.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered another angle of how to break into the business and be recognized. But today would be it probably would be the same. I mean, I guess it would be the same. It's just I like the way I did it the old way because it was a little bit more intimate. We got a chance to know the disc jockeys. We got a chance to know the program directors. We got a chance to know the distributors in the area. We had to stop by record stores and stuff. It was just a closer time.
Hmm. And what kind of music do you listen to these days?
Every imaginable thing right now because the music is all mixed up. When I say that, for example, let's just take America. I mean, pop music is now country music. That's the thing that's over here. And of course, artists, that used to be singer songwriters. So, you would ask an artist, so tell me, why did you write that song? What was the meaning behind that song? Now you've got 14 people writing one song now, and the artist didn't write the song at all. They're just the singers.
Hmm.
So, it's a different point of view. I guess that's what the question was what again? I went down another road.
No, it's okay. It's perfect. The question was, what type of music do you listen to these days?
Thank you for bringing me back on point. Um, Everything. I mean, honestly, I must tell you, there's no such thing as rock, pop, or R&B. It's just all a mixture. So I'm somewhere across the board. I love Bruno Mars and what he's done. I still think he's a great songwriter, great deliverer of that
Hmm.
stuff. Um, it's just all across the board.
Hmm. Do you know any Portuguese singer or Portuguese song? And if you don't, it's okay because you have time now.
July.
You gave me a question. I had to actually pause and think about. No, I do not. Well, yes, I do. Oh no, no, no. That's an Aussie. No, I don't.
Okay, so maybe in July you spend some days here and you can maybe go to a bar or something and listen to Portuguese music and fado, for example.
Say it again.
Fado, it's our traditional music.
It's like
Fago.
Yeah, you'd sing it like it's very melancholic. It's like la da la la da da. It's something
Ah,
super emotional and dramatic a little
you
bit.
know what? You just tapped on something that I have not thought about. What's the music of Portugal? What's
Yeah.
the music of I've not thought about that. Okay, you've got me interested now.
It's fado, so you should go to a fado house when you
Faga House,
fado. It's called fado,
Fado,
Fado.
Fado, fado.
Fado, Fado.
Yeah, and they sing with a lot of emotion. You will love
Wow.
it.
Okay. You
Yeah.
just you just introduced me to it after all
To a
these
new
years.
genre.
How about that?
Uh-huh.
Did I
So,
detect a singer over there? Oh my God.
Yeah, I used to sing, but now I don't. So,
okay.
okay. So your concerts always feel more like a celebration, not like a show. What kind of energy are you hoping to bring in to Lisbon in July?
I think you hit it with the right word. It's energy. I think that there's nothing um more depressing than actually coming and kind of listening to someone sing and you're emotionally not tied to it. I like one big giant karaoke party. And I know
Mm.
that sounds kind of strange, but I like the battle of okay, I'm going to sing and is the crowd going to sing louder? And then I'm going to sing and then is the crowd going to sing louder than that? And then finally if I do it correctly, the crowd will win. the crowd will take over. And all of a sudden, every song now becomes, I can't wait till he sings that song because I'm going to sing it with him. Now, that's my show. That's the show of
And
energy.
mhm.
That's what I love. I mean, to me, it's one big giant love fest. And I'm just a cheerleader. I'm just the guy who kind of pumps it up. And then after that, the crowd takes over.
Okay, can't wait for it. Is there a song during a live performance that makes you think, this one never gets old to me?
Well, I mean, easy like Sunday morning, easy, hello, all night long. I mean, I'm just sorry to say it just one by one, what happens, it just never gets old because it's just a part of my DNA now. And I love it when you finally start the song off, even before I come in to sing. Just the intro, you hear the crowd go, oh, okay, here we go. That's when it becomes exciting. It never gets old. These songs never get old. I'm just trying to think of another one that's so, yeah. I mean, the Ceylons and the endless loves and I mean, this is just great. I mean,
Okay.
I look forward to each song. You put me on the spot there, but you're asking me which one of my children do I like the most, but I like them all.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I asked you about Portuguese music and what about Portuguese food? Do you have like a good memory in Portugal? Do you have something that we can relate to when you were
You're asking
here?
me, God, that is so great. Yes, there was a place that I went. Okay, I'm not going to call off a name, but I don't know. I went the last time I discovered Portuguese food. I must tell you, the last time we were there, they took me to a fabulous place, and again, they tried to educate me on like the seafood is like that's it down there. That's what that's what codfish. I think you guys have down there
Hmm.
stuff.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
mean, it was just wherever we were, it was just the best. I think I was doing great until I got to the pastries. And once I got to the pastries, I was hooked forever. That was just too good. But yeah, I know it's one of those things where for me, it's I'm a foodie. So
Me too.
going out after the show is the real highlight. So I'm
Mm.
looking forward now to discovering some new places. God, when was the last time I was down there?
27.
No,
Wow.
twen-
Wow.
Well, I think it was in Cascais,
It was
right?
a festival. Yes, it was a festival.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so we're almost done. So, if you could whisper one thing into the ear of every Portuguese fan before the show starts in Lisbon, something small but personal, what would it
Okay.
be?
It would be, I missed you
Oh.
and I can't wait to see you.
Wow.
July 29th. July 29th. I'll be looking
Mhm.
for you.
Lionel, thank you very much. You were very kind and you made our day. So we'll see you in
July?
July. And until then, we can listen to your songs. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to the concert. So,
Teresa, are you going to be at the show? Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything if you're not there.
of course, I will be there. It's our radio station will be there. So,
Ah,
of
very
course, I
good.
will be.
Very, very good. In that case, I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, me too.
All right.
Bye.
Lots of
Thank
love.
you.
Bye bye now. Take care.